Today is a day, both liturgically and experientially for us, a day of contradiction. I mean, we see that first of all by the fact that we are waving tropical plants in the midst of the aftermath of a winter storm. But the contradiction and the irony goes a lot deeper than that. We have in our liturgy today two conflicting realities. Jesus, who is hailed as king with sweet hosannas, and Jesus, who is sent to the cross with cries of crucify him. There are several different ways in our liturgy that this contradiction is displayed to us, not so that we dwell in the land of contradiction, but so that we can go through it and see the paradox. And I'd like to reflect on three words that we hear at Mass today that help to situate us in this contradiction, to help us move into paradox and to see the mystery. The first words were the ones that we began Mass with today. Hosanna, Hosanna to the Son of David. Hosanna was an ancient cry for the people of Israel. In Hebrew, it connotes an excitement. It's a jubilation, a great cry that cries out great hope. But literally, the word is not just one of excitement. It's one of trust. It's one of pleading and begging for safety. The closest word that we have in English to this is have mercy. As the crowds are crying out, Hosanna to the Son of David, they are greeting him as a king would be greeted. But they are also crying out for the mercy of the Son of David. It is the Son of David whom they believe is going to set them free from the oppression that they have been undergoing at the hands of the Romans. And it seems as if from the time that the people of Israel were constituted, they were always under somebody's strong right hand. If it wasn't the Babylonians, it was the Persians. And if it wasn't the Persians, it was the Greeks. And if it wasn't the Greeks, it was the Romans. Always, their entire existence, under the thumb of someone else. And they've been waiting for the Messiah, the one who would come and set them free. And when they see Jesus coming into the city of Jerusalem on a colt, which they knew from the prophecies was a sign of the coming of the Messiah, they were excited. And they couldn't help but grab the palm branches and other leafy branches around them, and they waved them in great excitement, because now is the hour, now is the time. Hosanna to the Son of David. They were thrilled, they were excited, and it was finally going to happen. But by the middle of the week, things had changed. See, Jesus coming into Jerusalem like this incited the anger of the Roman authorities. They feared an uprising. And at the same time, the scribes and Pharisees were not happy with him at all. And there was this dual plot going on to get rid of Jesus. And you know what he was not doing is he was not fighting. He was not coming at the Romans or at the scribes and Pharisees with the flaming sword that the Messiah was supposed to have. He was not defending himself. And if he was not going to defend himself as the Messiah, how would he save the people from their oppression? It was becoming clear that he was not going to. And the despair set in. And we can hear the words of despair in our responsorial psalm today. My God, why have you abandoned me? There's a lot of weight and heaviness behind those words. And they are said by the same crowds who earlier in the week were thrilled and excited. Then, as we move from excitement to despair, as is usually the case with human beings, we move to anger. The crowds have had it. Jesus has disappointed them. And when he is dragged to the praetorium, when he is brought before Pontius Pilate, what are the words now that they scream? Crucify him. The anger, the frustration, the bitterness, they're done. It is time to be rid of this Jesus. Now, what is very interesting is that in the liturgy, these words are not just recalled historically. These words are put onto our lips. We cry them out. We cry out, Hosanna. We cry out, my God, why have you abandoned me? And we cry out, not once but twice in that narrative, crucify him. My friends, these are not the words of bad people in time. They are the words of every human being who is struggling with the human condition, who is struggling with excitement and joy, countered by despair and grief, countered by anger and frustration. All of these betray what is going on interiorly in each one of us. The sin that binds us, the sin that shackles us. And what the people of the first century did not know and did not see, because they couldn't, any more than if we were there, we wouldn't be able to see it either, is that the great oppression that Jesus had come to address was not the outer oppression, but the inner oppression. He came to set us free from this, from the plague that grabs our hearts, and that then manifests itself in the world through cruelty, through division, through sin. It is that he has come to, and he willingly placed himself in the midst of it all. There was nobody who forced him to enter into Jerusalem on that colt. There was nobody who forced him to pick up the cross and go to his death. He went there willingly to be with us through it all and to love us through it all. And by showing us, by some great mystery, that he loves us to the point of death, and that this death would put an end to this great contradiction. This death would put an end to this shackle that binds us all. And this death, which would not remain in death, would soon become something so glorious, so amazing, that it would turn all of their lives around. That people of every race and tongue and kingdom and nation would begin to cry out a new word, which I will not say today because we're not allowed to say it yet. But it's an A word. And a week from today, that is the word that we will be singing. That is the word that we will be proclaiming. That is the word that we will be living by. But we've got to go through the contradiction of this week. We've got to go through liturgically, ritually, spiritually, experientially, the excitement and the joy, the grief and the despair, the anger and the confusion and the bitterness. We've got to go through it all so that we can come to the glory. And that is what will bring us back this week for these great liturgies. Today, though, we sit in it. We soak in it. We soak in all of this. And we ask that the Lord will fill our hearts with the ability to enter deeply into this mystery. He invited Simon Peter in the Passion narrative that we heard today to bear with it. What did he tell him to do? Watch. Pray. Peter doesn't understand it. Peter doesn't get it. And you know what, my friends? In my own limited, finite mind, I don't either. I don't understand what God is up to. I mean, I know it because it's been proclaimed, but do I understand the calculus of it? Do I understand why everything had to happen the way that it did? No. My mind can't get it. Only my heart can. And even then, it's still limited and broken, that it can only wrap itself around it so much. So we have to be like Peter. We have to fight through our tiredness. We have to fight through our weariness. We have to keep our eyes open. And this week with the Lord, watch and pray.